And there they go.
What is up, everybody? I am Mike Somich for RacingDudes.com, and I am coming at you with a preview of Saturday's Grade 3 Soaring Softly Stakes from Belmont Park. It's a really interesting race. We're going 7 furlongs here for 3-year-old fillies. And what makes it so interesting is not only the tweener distance. So you got a lot of horses that like 5.5, 6 furlong turf sprinting. You've got a lot of horses that like that mile and a 16th race. We're kind of right in the middle here. So you've got a meld of those sprinters with those like shorter distance routing horses. But you also have interesting connections coming in here. So you've got a Wesley Ward horse. You've got a Chad Brown coming back off a layoff. And you've got Derrynane, who probably is where this discussion should start. Derrynane is coming out of the Christophe Clement barn. You've got Joel Rosario up for the 6th straight time. This horse has won twice, including going 5.5 furlongs at Saratoga to break its maiden, and finishing a nice 4th in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint last year behind Twilight Gleaming and Coffee Maker, amongst others. Came back for the first time and just missed to Russian, who went wire to wire at Keeneland. Derrynane looked really good in that race, though, and was making up a lot of ground late. That was at 5.5. We're stretching out to 7. 7 shouldn't be an issue for Derrynane. Right to her inside is a horse named Haughty. Haughty's coming back for the Chad Brown barn. You got Flavien Prat up for the first time. This horse has been going a mile and a 16th at Del Mar, Keeneland, and Belmont, and has done everything right throughout her 2-year-old season. Ended up running 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf at a mile distance. That was won by Pizza Bianca, who's come back and looked impressive, and her first 2 starts as a 3-year-old. Haughty's going to be an interesting horse as well, right to the inside for the Chad Brown barn. You also have a horse called Wonka, who's going to be coming in here for the Belmont barn. This is going to be first off a little bit of a layoff, 3rd time out as a 3-year-old. This horse is coming out of mile and 16th races, but possesses some nice tactical speed, and I think could make some noise late if we can stay close enough to the pace early. And then another one of the contenders all the way on the outside is Charty Party. It's going to be the 2nd time we'll see this horse out of the Wesley Ward barn. Last time we saw Charty Party, really impressive debut, 5.5 furlong turf score over the Keeneland turf course. You got Irad Ortiz up that day. The horse was 10 lengths off the lead early, was able to make this monster move, sweeping wide. Now we've got Irad back up again here, but this is a monster step up in class when you're talking about the level that Charty Party is going to have to step into to really be able to be competitive. Now, one of the more interesting things that I saw here, especially for this type of race, is that you just don't have a ton of pace. Generally in these, the races that are between 5.5 and a mile, especially at Belmont, you're going to see horses that want to be more forwardly placed. Well, here you kind of have a lone speed and Wish You Well. This is a horse by George Weaver, who ran huge first time out of Gulfstream, was one of the big time buzz horses there, came back and ran an allowance race over the dirt, both these tries over the dirt, and just didn't have it. I think Wish You Well is probably going to get a pretty good lead here, be able to sit up front and get comfortable with John Velasquez under the saddle. I think Wish You Well is one of the keys here. So for me, I am going to put Derrynane on top. I was wildly impressed with how this horse came first off the layoff. The 7 furlong shouldn't be an issue, but I'm going to use Wish You Well in the exotics. I think it makes a ton of sense that horse is able to sit in the lead and be able to either win the race wire to wire or be able to hold on for 2nd or 3rd. I also like Wonka and Haughty, so I'm going to play a superfecta, Derrynane over Wish You Well, Wonka, and Haughty. And then I'm going to come back and play a trifecta with Derrynane and Wish You Well on top of Wonka and Haughty. It's a great betting race, any direction you want to go. You've got a couple other Clements I didn't even mention in here, including Anador, as well as Breeze Easy. It'll be Breeze Easy's first time in the U.S. with Castellano. Anador is going to get ignored at the window because it's the quote-unquote third Clement horse, but still a very, very good horse in his own right, or in her own right. So wonderful betting race here. I highly recommend you put some money into the Soaring Softly here on Saturday. Should be a great race, well contested, and we're going to see some really nice horses, both at the 2-turn distance as well as the 1-turn distance, that are setting up for a nice summer campaign. Thanks for checking out this preview of the Soaring Softly. Make sure you check out Racing Dude's YouTube page for additional previews of all graded stakes races over the weekend, and make sure you check out the Tournament Challenge tomorrow. We'll have a live show at Racing Dude's YouTube. Good luck at the track.